so this is a fuel system. If you guys are wondering, I got this from Lethal Performance, and this is pretty much an all put together kit, right? So right here got the fuel hat, and it says right there Division X, right? And then we already put on the fittings and stuff. It was a puzzle, but we figured it out. There was the layout on the website, so that's what we used. So yeah, we already put all the fittings on. I'll let you guys take a look at it just in case you're wondering, you know, what's on what. So yeah, there's 2 pieces on here that come on already. We had to take them off and put the fittings that they gave us. But yeah, pretty easy with the once we were looking at the diagram. But yeah, we put the pumps right there. And if you're wondering what pumps these are 465, so twin 465 pumps. Now that's a lot, so that's gonna be more than enough whenever we do go boost. So that's why I got the 465s. So they were a little bit more money, but I did it with purpose that in the future I want boost, so that's why I did it. And here's the wiring for the fuel system. We got our line. This is gonna be from the fuel pressure regulator to the back, and then this is from the fuel rail to the fuel pressure regulator. And then the fuel pressure regulator is right here. Let me take it out. All right, there it is. We put the gauge on, we put this fitting on, put that one on, and the bottom one. So basically my stock hose is gonna go right here. The stock line for the fuel, watch, which is gonna be this little UFO looking thing. That's what's gonna go on this end. And then this side is gonna be to the fuel rail, and this bottom part is gonna go to the gas tank or to the fuel hat. But yeah, you guys will see it once it's all installed.
Good.
Alright guys, so the fuel hat is on, and it wasn't as easy as I thought, just like everything else. You know, it says plug and play, but it's not always plug and play. You gotta do some hitting here and there, some, you know, mock it up, and it's just like, yes, it fits, but I'll tell you why. So when I was putting this in the first time, I was struggling because basically the bottom of the fuel filters and the pumps was like bottoming out at the bottom of the tank. Basically it was hitting the bottom of the tank, so it wasn't sitting properly up here. It was kind of like in the air. So it was easy as just getting a hammer, taking this off, getting a hammer, and pretty much just hitting the inside of the tank to like kind of bend it down. So that's all we did, and then it fit. Took a couple of, you know, hitting it, trying it, taking it out, hitting it more, trying it. Sounds familiar, right? Just like the headers.
te voy a hacer.
Alright guys, so the battery box is now installed. It wasn't that bad. Basically all we did is drill 2 holes in the bottom, and as a template we use this. So we pretty much just put it on the car, marked it, drilled the holes, and then before we drilled the holes we made sure that under the car we had it good, because I mean if we would have lined it up way too much over there we couldn't have, because of this right here. And the same for over here because of this. So that's pretty much what it looks like under here. Just put a washer with a bolt, and then yeah, we just left a little bit right here. You could, if you want, like lower the bolt all the way down so you don't have to cut it like we did, but me and my dad just decided to do it like this, and that's how a lot of other people do it. So yeah, we just left it like that. Once we made our holes, we put the battery tray right here, the bottom, and then we put this in here, and then obviously put these, and then just wash your bolt. The same thing on the bottom like I showed you guys, tightened it, and then that's it. So it wasn't that bad of an install. I mean obviously the battery still has to go in here, we still got to route, you know, the ground and then all that good stuff. But yeah, that's it. So basically this right here is what's gonna hold the battery down in place. So it's gonna be holding the battery down. We're gonna have a nut right there on both ends, and then just cover it. As you guys saw, the box is on the battery relocation kit. We put the cables in, we started routing them kind of. So the ground, it's easy, just we put it to the bottom of the rail of the car. And then the power, we're trying to figure out where to run it to. But this is basically what it looks like, a rough, I guess, mock-up. So obviously you got power right here, positive, negative. So negative, just put it in here, and there is, I don't know if you guys can see, I don't have my phone with me, but there's a little hole right here. So this just goes straight down, and then we put it right there. So the ground, which is comes through, where is that hole? The hole is right here, so it just comes out through here, and boom, put the ground right there. So obviously we grinded it, cleaned it up, put that there, and I kind of want to run another ground from here straight to the block. I don't have to, but there's other guys with swaps that do that, so I kind of want to do that. But yeah, so the ground right now, it's taken care of. The car will start like that, but like I said, I want to put another ground from here all the way to the block. Just run it down all the way to the block. And like I said, the positive, we're still trying to figure out how to route it, but for the most part it's figured out already. And then obviously we still need to put the fuel system, but we're doing all of this since the gas tank is on the floor, or not on the floor, but you know, we have the gas tank out, so that's why we're able to drill through here. But I mean, it's coming along, man. It's coming along. It's taking longer than we thought, but it's okay. We're also learning during all this process, but yeah, it's going. All right, so check it out, guys. You guys are probably gonna think I'm crazy, but this is what me and my dad did. So we cut a hole where the spare tire goes, just so that we have easy access to the fuel tank or the fuel hat. It's a pretty good idea. It's gonna come in handy whenever we do have to, I guess, check it. We shouldn't have to, but you know, if we do, it's easy access up here. We don't have to pick up the car, lower the tank, and all that. So we have easy access. We already connected the harness right here, and then we got the fuel line going in over here, and then this is my stock fuel line, just clicked in place. Put the fuel line right here, just put a little clamp. And now I'm basically just gonna button up the fuel tank. I already put the cover on, obviously. We got the straps. I got it mocked up, but I just need to tighten all the bolts, and then this is gonna be secured. and then we're gonna worry about running the rest of the fuel line to the, through the bottom of the car. We're gonna use the stock wiring just to follow that, and then it's gonna should take us right to the front. But yeah, let me go ahead and just tighten this up. Alright, so I know some of you guys are probably wondering how this fuel system works. So it's pretty damn simple. There's basically two lines that are gonna be coming out of the fuel hat. You got your feed and your return, okay? So the feed is gonna be going through my stock line, which is right here. So this is the one that clicks into the hat. It runs right here to my stock fuel filter, and then that is gonna go to the front of the car, and that's gonna go to the fuel pressure regulator. Okay, so that's the feed, and now the return is right here. So you got the feed and the return. The return is just gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna put it to go to the rest of the wires down there, and then it's gonna go to the front, and that's it. This is the hose that's new, the feed and the return, and that's pretty much it. This is the one that was kind of difficult to put on to the fitting. We really had to like keep trying it and taking it off, taking it on, and it did require a lot of force to get this one to sit on the fitting. This one was easy. It was just click and clicking, like it would just click in, and then to remove it, obviously you use those special tools for fuel lines, and this one is just a regular hose that you put on the fitting. But that's it. That's literally it. And then on the fuel has the connection for the wiring harness, and we had to look at the instructions for that. But it's just the wiring harness connection, your feed, and return. That's it. So, like I said, we're gonna try and route this one to go to the front. It's getting real close, real close. This right here is for the stock line. This is gonna go to the fuel pressure regulator right here, to the side of the fuel pressure regulator, and then from the regulator it's gonna go to my fuel rail on this side, to fuel rail, fuel pressure regulator, and then this is gonna connect to that. It's all gonna make sense once it's fully put together, but that's just to give you guys an idea. Alright guys, so I'm continuing with the fuel system install. As you can see right here, this is my return, and there's a hose, and this is the fitting that goes into there. And it's not as easy as you think just to put this fitting on there. It's super hard. So basically I'm gonna use the heat gun, heat this hose up, get the rubber kind of loose, and it should be able to slide over the fitting. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And if you're wondering why I taped it, it's because I'm gonna push this on the ground with the hose. That way I can get it on there. It all makes sense right now. So that's what I'm about to do. First, heat that up, not with this, just that by itself, and then slide it over the fitting. Okay, so after applying the heat and pushing hard on the towel there, it's finally on, and I just need to put a little clamp right here, but it's already set. So I'm just gonna feed it through there, and then I'll pick it up and kind of mock it up. But yeah, these things are a pain to put on. But yeah, just need to put one more on for the fuel rail, and then that's it. finally got everything installed on the car. I'm gonna show you guys the finished product as far as the fuel system and the battery relocation kit in the trunk. So let me go ahead and show you guys how the fuel pressure regulator looks. Here in the front, as you guys can see, we put the fuel pressure regulator right here. It's sitting perfect, it's pretty tight on there. And I just use zip ties, to be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna lie or anything. So I got a zip tie right here, zip tie right here, and it's zip tied to the little rail back here. And then just with those two, it's pretty good. Got our vacuum line right here, which we haven't routed yet. We still gotta figure that out, but it's not an issue. Got the gauge right here. The bottom is the return. This is the feed, and this goes straight to the fuel rail. Let me show you guys the fuel rail side. All right, so here's the fuel rail side. It's two pieces, basically the fitting with the hose, and then actually three. There's a piece that you put on the rail. You gotta screw it into this fitting. So that's one piece. And then the fitting with the hose screws onto this fitting. It'll make sense if you have the kit in your hand. So yeah, it just slide right in, screw this, tighten it, and then this goes to that. And we ran it right here just through the back, just like that, straight to the fuel pressure regulator. We did have to cut this hose because it was too long. It would have looked awkward. This would have to gone down here, and then it just looked too long. So we cut it, put the fitting, and now it looks pretty good like that. It's just got plenty of slack, and it's, you know, doesn't look too bad. And like I told you guys, this right here, I'm using the stock line from the 4.6, and I kind of just I snaked it right here. That way it'll look nice. Some people just leave it over all this, but I just kind of snaked it back here. I zip tied it, I think, yeah, to this the AC. I think this is the dryer for the AC right here, and then just ran it like that. And you guys probably saw me routing it through here. I ran the line under the car, came up here, put a little bracket right there, and then just kind of snaked it right there, and boom, straight through that hole to the fuel pressure regulator. And if you guys are wondering how it looks under the car, just like that, I just kind of zip tied it to the stock lines. I could have used the brackets, but me and my dad didn't really see the need for them, so we just zip tied it. It's pretty secure on there. We just zip tied it to the stock lines, and yeah, just follow the stock lines like I said here, then it goes that way all the way to the fuel hat. So let me go show you guys that. So just like I showed you guys, we got a hole right here for the fuel hat. And I already spoke to my dad, and we're gonna go ahead and fix this hole just so it looks cleaner. The reason it's kind of offset is because we went based off the circle. There's like a trim pattern that's already on the shell of the car, and we just cut that perfect circle out. And yeah, so once we put the fuel tank up here, it's kind of like offset. So all we're gonna do is just trim this a little bit just to like make it look a little bit more even. But to be honest, it doesn't matter because the fuel hat could still come out like that, but just to clean up the look. And I don't regret doing this just because it's super easy access for that. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And if you're wondering where we connected the relays, you follow this hose right here, goes all the way to the side, and it goes into here. In a nutshell, it's just a ground and one wire that's going to the, what is it called, the fuel, I forgot, but there's a module, there's like a little computer that goes in here. And if you're reading the instructions, it says to connect the wire there. Pretty much just set the relays there with the ground, and that's it. And then for the power line, we ran it through the side all the way here and right here to the box. So if we open this up, you can see we got the positive and the negative, and there's the positive from the fuel pump relays. So yeah, just already tapped it into here. All this is gonna do is sit right on the battery, and this, like I showed you guys, this goes right to the bottom of the rail on the car. And this, we routed it from the back seats all the way to the front of the car, which goes right to the alternator. If you guys look right here, this line right here, we covered it just so it looks nicer, but this right here is the positive wire from the battery. So we hooked it up to the alternator, and we pretty much just wire tucked it all the way over there under the carpet and the back of the seats. But everything's connected. I mean, obviously the battery's not there, but everything's pretty much set up already. It was a bit of a time-consuming install, just like all this stuff. It took a couple of days. That's why I didn't just, you know, film it and upload it like immediately, because it took a couple of days. But yeah, finally finished. The fuel system's on. All that's left is a wiring for the control pack and just kind of buttoning up everything. Still gotta get some hoses for the coolant reservoir. Couple of things, you know, just kind of button up everything, make sure everything's tightened and all that. And then yeah, so hopefully in a couple of weeks, but hopefully this month this car should be turning on finally. I saw in the beginning of the video we were putting on these spacers. Last video we put the shims on the motor mounts. Well, I had to purchase these for the K-member because we were having some clearance issues with that right there, the intake. Now the right way would have been to get an aftermarket oil pan so the engine could slide lower, but I didn't want to cough up those $300 and something, so I just bought these, the $20, or it's like 25 bucks for the shims, and then these up here were like 100 bucks, so it still came out cheaper than the oil pan. In the future I will get an aftermarket oil pan, but right now that's just how I'm gonna have to run it, if you guys are wondering. So that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. I know it's already kind of a long, lengthy video. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, it really does mean a lot. And I'm trying to, you know, throw in the details because I know to some of you guys it really does matter and it's gonna help you out. I didn't go super in-depth as far as like instructions and stuff. I just kind of told you the overview, you know. Hope you guys can understand, but it's just like sometimes I get lost in installing the parts and figuring out the stuff with my dad, you know. It's kind of hard to like be recording everything and then I'll run out of space and stuff. It's a little hard to record, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, we're almost there. Fuel system and everything's on the car. Like I said, just need to button up everything to get the car running. Yeah, so next video is going to be pretty much installing the control pack and whatever else we're going to be doing. Again, thank you guys for watching. It means a lot. Thanks for 1,000 subscribers. I don't know if I said it in the last video, but right now I'm like at 1,240, which is crazy because I feel like I just hit 1,000, and it's just, the channel's growing, which is good, and that's because the car's not even running. I can imagine when the car's running and I could give you guys some awesome content with the car actually moving and performing good. So, you know, hopefully everything goes good and we can get there. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Be sure to give it a like, share the videos if you can. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you guys for being patient with me. This is such a long process and it's a lot of money, but it's all coming together. Thank you guys. Catch you guys later.